What's up, everyone? It's your boy Jay Cleve. Got my brother Ronald behind the camera.
Yo, yo.
Once again, this is SnG Brothas. I hope you guys enjoyed our last episode that we had. My brother Ronald made some delicious, which is my word, delicious, Doritos chicken. It was so good. But in this episode today, we are going to be grilling a Tomahawk ribeye steak. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a great cook. So stay tuned. But before you get into anything, what I want you to do is like, subscribe, and hit that bell. So you stay in tune with all the videos that we got coming up. Because we got some good ones coming up. You don't never ever want to miss a beat. Now let's get into this cook. All right, so we're about to go ahead and season this 2 1/4 pound Tomahawk steak. Don't worry, it's not gonna fall off the bone. But before we do that, gotta give a shout out to Royal Oak.
Shout out.
We appreciate you guys for providing us with these shirts, some of the gear that we got. And guys, if you have not ever tried Royal Oak, we highly encourage you, implore you to go buy you some. You can get at your local grocery store. You can go to their website and get some. They have some great products. I love their charcoal as well as their tumbleweed. So go ahead and get you some Royal Oak. Now, with this Tomahawk steak, we're gonna go ahead and season this up. And you can take a closer look, matter of fact. This is a 2 1/4 pound steak. Look at this baby. Ah, it looks so good. We're gonna put a simple seasonings on it right now. All we're gonna do is seasoning up with some salt, some pepper, onion powder, and some garlic powder, all blended together. We're gonna season it up. We're gonna let that sit for about 30 minutes so all that seasonings can just melt all inside of that steak. And then after that, we're gonna come back and we're gonna top it off with some Farmer's Market blend from Shenandoah. Then we're gonna get the grill fired up, throw it on the grill. But before we even get the grill fired up, you know what we're gonna do, my brother?
What we gonna do?
We're gonna have some smoke talk. But we're gonna get to that in a second, later on. Now let's go ahead and get into seasoning this steak. So we just finished seasoning this steak. It looks so good. And it smells so good as well. We're gonna let this steak sit here on this countertop for about 30 minutes. We're not gonna put it in the refrigerator. We're gonna allow the seasonings to just marinate all in that steak, or let it rain and clear it out. No, I'm not gonna do the chicken in the soup. But we're gonna let it sit here for about 30 minutes. We're gonna come back inside. We're gonna top it off with some Farmer's Market blend from Shenandoah. But in the meantime, we're gonna go outside. We're gonna get this grill fired up. We're gonna get it to about 500 to 600 degrees. Also, at the same time, while that grill is getting to temp, we're gonna go have a little bit of drink with a little smoke. What that mean, my brother?
It's time for smoke talk.
Ooh, we gonna see you guys. Smoke talk. up, everyone? It's your boy Jay Cleve. Got my brother Ronald.
What's up? What's up?
This is Smoke Talk. Now today we're gonna have another random conversation, but before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about what we're smoking and what we're drinking.
Yes, sir.
We are both smoking on some Drew Estate Cigars, Acid brand. I more specifically am smoking on what's called Toast. This means that it is infused with some coffee, which is really, really good. It has some really great flavor. My brother, what about you?
So this is a cold infusion. This is infused with tea leaves, black tea
Ooh,
leaves.
tea leaves.
It's got a very nice flavor to it. This is a light body, I believe Dominican Republic wrapper. Very good cigar.
Nice, nice. And we are both drinking on some Crown Royal rye whiskey.
Yeah, Royal.
That's actually one of my favorite whiskeys is rye whiskey. I love rye whiskey, whether Crown Royal, whether it's Jack Daniels, or any other type of whiskey. I love rye whiskey, so go get you some. Now, random conversation today. My brother, what's been on your mind this week? Maybe something that you've been doing or something you've been watching that you just want to talk to the people about.
The Olympics.
Ooh, good conversation. Good topic. Good topic. Not
yeah.
conversation, but good topic.
Yeah, so the Olympics is coming up. The
Okay.
trials are ongoing right now. Last week we had the track and field trials. Now they're on gymnastics. I think USA Basketball got their roster go ahead solidified. I don't know how Kevin Love made the team.
Hey,
Don't know how he made the team.
shout out to Kevin Love.
Shout out to Kevin Love, great player, but I don't know how he made this team.
Hey, facts.
But I hope they represent us well and they bring back that gold. But
Absolutely.
I mean, it was just track and field was amazing. The trials for that was amazing. Saw a lot of new faces. Saw some old faces too,
Yes.
like Justin Gatlin,
Yep.
LaShawn Merritt. I ain't even know they were still running real life. But they still doing their thing out there. Yeah, but it was just great seeing the trials. You know, seeing the people compete. You know, trying to make the team.
Yeah,
How
awesome.
about you, bro?
For me, I love the Olympics as well. More specifically, track and field. A former track and field athlete myself, high school, college. I love watching these athletes compete. In fact, I love even seeing a lot of the older athletes that I grew up with still competing, and really giving these young runners a run for their money. You know, so it's just really exciting. But it's also really exciting to see these young athletes that are like 20, 21 years old, you know, making it to the Olympics. What's that young girl name? Shakira Richardson?
Yeah, I think it's Sha'Carri.
Shakiri, apologize if I got your name wrong, but dynamic, awesome. You have done amazing at 21 years old, making it to your first Olympics, and you did it with style and grace. And so we are extremely proud of you. We hope that you do some big things and just, you know, represent the USA very well at the Olympics. But man, it's just been exciting from just track and field to even the field sports, track sports and then field sports. So, you know, you got from javelin to pole vault to shot put to, you know, triple jump, long jump, to then my favorite, which is the track events, which is the 100, 400, 4x4, 800, like 4x1 relays. So I'm super excited to watch those, and I will be tuning into the other sports as well.
Absolutely.
But I love track and field. So with that being said, my brother,
Yes, sir.
that was just a random conversation today. If you haven't been keeping up with the Olympics, the Olympic trials, definitely tune into the different sports. People have been doing some amazing things. Even the other young lady that just qualified in swimming, forgetting as well. But man, they just been doing some amazing things. So I look forward to the Olympics, especially with the pandemic and everything that's happened. You know how that affected their training, which it seems like they've been doing them some justice actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, with that being said, that is our random conversation for today. We're gonna go ahead and have a toast, my brother,
Do it. To the Olympics.
to the Olympics.
So good.
I love me some rye. Go get you some, and it pairs very, very well
Yes, sir.
with this cigar.
Yes, sir.
We gonna see y'all later. This is Smoke Talk.
Smoke Talk, baby. Into this Tomahawk cook.
Oh, this thing lighting and that thing went out.
right, so you probably see all this smoke behind me. We're waiting for this baby to get up to temperature. So the temperature that you want your grill to be is between 500 to 600 degrees. The higher the better, because we're initially gonna sear that baby up on direct heat, 4 minutes on each side, and then we're gonna move it to indirect heat. So once we get this steak on the grill, we're gonna talk a little bit about the internal temperature that we want the steak to be on. Stay tuned.
All right, so our grill is almost up to temperature. Now it's time to add on our farmer's market blend. But before we do that, look at this. Let's take a look at this. Look how the season has settled in. Oh my goodness. That looks so, so good. So let's go ahead and add in the seasoning. Smelling good. Time to get this on the grill. Let's go back outside.
All right, so the grill is up to temp. Let's go ahead and get this tomahawk steak on the grill. Woo, baby. There we go. So, matter of fact, right there we go. We're gonna just press down on it a little bit. So we're gonna leave this on for 2 minutes and then rotate it for another 45 degrees for another 2 minutes on the same side. Y'all stay tuned. All right, 2 minutes is up. Let's go ahead, rotate it 45 degrees for another 2 minutes. Oh yeah. There we go. Give it a nice press. All right, 2 minutes. 2 minutes, then we flipping it over and doing the same thing to the other side. All right, 2 minutes is done. Let's go ahead and flip this baby over. There we go. Oh my goodness. Let's go give it a good press. Good press. There we go. It's 2 minutes. All right, 2 minutes is up. It's time to rotate. There we go. 2 minutes. All right, so the steak been cooking for another 4 minutes. Let's go ahead and get it on indirect heat. All right, so this baby's been cooking. We're gonna move it on a top shelf. Top shelf, look at that. Baby, cooking, smoking. So what we're gonna do is we're going to use this to baste the steak. As we cook, we have some thyme, some rosemary, some garlic, some pepper flakes, and a stick of butter. We're gonna put it right under the steak, because what we're gonna do is now cook it on indirect heat. Let those drippings drip into that pan, let it mix all up and let it all melt, get it all cooked together. Then we're gonna start basting the steak. Also, what we're gonna do is put a thermometer probe, because now it's all about temperature. It's not about time anymore, it's all about temperature. So we're gonna wait until the internal temperature of the steak reaches about 140. Then we're gonna pull it off the grill. So we want our internal temperature to be 140, then we're gonna pull it off the grill. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so we wanna make sure we know what the internal temp of the steak is gonna be. So we're gonna use our digital thermometer probe. We wanna put it in the thickest part of the steak because that's gonna take the most time to cook. So let's go ahead, open up the grill and get this digital thermometer inside the steak. All right, so this is about the thickest part. So you wanna go ahead and slide that baby right on in the thick part. All right, I'm gonna turn this on. See the butter is melting? It's gonna look good later on. All right, stay tuned. All right, it's time to go ahead and baste our steak. Let's go ahead and baste it. Oh, it's looking good. As you can see, also got some drippings from the steak inside. So you can use a mop or you can use whatever you want and baste it. Just go ahead and keep it hydrated, keep it nice and moist. That baby looking good. There we go. All right. We're gonna go ahead and baste it a few more times, but when you see the finished product, we're gonna be taking it off the grill and we're gonna let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. Stay tuned. All right, guys, our steak is done. Let's go ahead and test it with our handheld thermometer probe. Let's bring it in. This is gonna give us an accurate, more accurate reading just to confirm what the digital thermometer is telling us to make sure they're on point. So this is reading around 143. Let's see what the thermometer probe is saying. All right, so 142.9, so about the same temperature. It's time to take it off. We're gonna let this rest for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and have our taste test. We'll see you guys soon.
All right, guys, so our steak has been resting for 15 minutes. Now we have the best part, the taste test. So first what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the steak off the bone, and then we're gonna cut into it and taste. Let's bring it on in. Let's go test this baby out. Got the bone and knife. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna follow the steak down the bone. Cut it off. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Sheesh. Guys. Now let's get some of the best part of the meat. So let's cut that down in half. Look at that. Oh, look at that. That's a beauty right there. All right. Let's go ahead and cut a few slabs off. Well, ain't a slab because there ain't no bones, but let's cut a few pieces off. Cut it to any size that you want. But you know what? I'm gonna taste this right here. The moment of truth.
Do we got one? Do we got one? Do we got one?
I know we do this every single time. And I probably sound like I'm exaggerating. I'm not. Guys. That was delicious. I encourage you guys, I implore you to try this cook. Remember, some simple salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. Then get your any type of seasoning that you want. But make sure you let the salt and pepper, garlic powder, onion powder rest for 30 minutes before you put the other seasoning on. Get your grill up to temp between about 500, 600 degrees. Sear it 2 minutes on each side, was 2 minutes. Then rotate it for 45 degrees. A total of 4 minutes on one side, then another 4 minutes on the other side. And then take it off the heat for indirect heat. And let it cook to get the temperature, internal temp to about 140 degrees. I promise you, it won't fail you. And I'm so tongue-tied right now because it is so good and I just want to finish this video so I can get to this food, but we're going to finish this up. So make sure you like, subscribe, and you hit that bell so you stay in tune with all the future episodes that we got. And make sure you check out our last one, the smoked Doritos chicken that my brother Ronald did. It was so good. Make sure you try this cook. It won't fail you. Until then, stay tuned. This is SnG Brothas. So we're getting ready to go ahead and season this beautiful tomahawk steak. But before we do that, we got to give a shout out to Royal Oak.
Shout out.
All right, so our grill is almost up to temperature. Now it's time to add our Farmer's Markers blend. Let's go ahead and add it up.
Add it up. Add it up. Who got that fool? Add it up. Kidnap that fool. Season that steak. Season that steak. Season that steak. Gotta go ahead and grill up this tomahawk. My brother gonna put a hurting on it.
You don't know what is about to happen to it.
You sure don't know, because it's already dead.
That is true.
It's already dead. Bro.
Why you got it there still, my thunder, man? I had a good joke and it was like, oh. You ever know like one of them games where you play like, oh,
Yeah, the crowd, yeah, the audience.
Right. All right, guys, we're about to get out of here. Put this steak on the grill. Until then, stay tuned. It's a Smoke Talk. See you next time.